Welcome to our 14 days adventure through Portugal and Galicia, where we'll guide you through a blend of rich heritage, urban sophistication, and medieval towns. We'll explore vibrant cities like Lisbon and Porto, enjoy world-famous wines and local delicacies, and wander through the medieval streets of Santiago de Compostela. Get ready for a great adventure through the heart of Portugal and Galicia. This is Trailblazing Adventures, the place for itineraries, recommendations, and tips for the independent global traveler. Our journey begins in Lisbon, taking the scenic train ride to Porto. From there, we drive through Portugal and Galicia, visiting charming cities like Braga, Pontevedra, and Santiago de Compostela. Join us as we explore the best of these beautiful regions. And stick around till the end, where I will share with you 3 unforgettable experiences from this trip. Lisbon welcomed us, with its signature cobblestone streets, steep hills, coffee shop culture, and the tantalizing tastes of bacalhau and pulpo. Our base for this adventure was the Rocio Plaza Hotel. Check out our YouTube video review on this hotel. After our transatlantic flight, we kicked off our day with a strong coffee at a Chiado Cafe, perfect for people watching. Recharged, we strolled along the Tagus River, enjoying the refreshing breeze and a stroll through Umbrella Street. Our first major stop was the stunning Hieronymus Monastery, followed by a visit to the iconic Belém Tower. Later, we headed uphill to Beiro Alto for a family-cooked meal at a cozy neighborhood restaurant. We started our second day with a hearty breakfast in Chiado before venturing to the Castelo neighborhood, where we took in extraordinary views and explored the charming meandering streets. No trip to Lisbon is complete without a ride on the iconic Tram 28. So we hopped aboard and let it take us through the city's picturesque neighborhoods. Our Lisbon adventure culminated with an evening at the legendary Fado Tasca da Chico, where the soulful music and glasses of Vinho Verde kept us going well into the night. 2 days in Lisbon gave us just the right amount of time to visit the main sites, enjoy long lunches al fresco, and savor a late night of fado, soaking in the city's vibrant culture without feeling rushed. For our trip to Porto from Lisbon, we decided to take the Alfa Pendular high-speed train that takes you to speeds up to 220 km per hour. We went in tourista class, and the ride was comfortable and enjoyable. The ride over the Douro and seeing Porto for the first time, simply memorable. Porto captivated us with its blend of cosmopolitan vibes and old-world charm. We enjoyed trendy dining experiences and walked through its beautiful narrow streets. We arrived at the stunning São Bento station and stepped into the grand lobby, lavishly decorated with blue azulejos. No other city in the world welcomes you like Porto does. After checking into the well-located NH Collection Porto Battaglia, check our YouTube review for more details, we set off for lunch at Gazela, right around the corner, and have some delicious cachorrinhos, made famous by Anthony Bourdain in Parts Unknown. With our appetite satisfied, we explored Bolao with its beautiful market and Aliados, admiring the beautiful architecture adorned with blue azulejos, enjoying excellent coffee and savoring delicious pastéis de nata. The highlight of our evening was a memorable dinner at the trendy Misto. The sophisticated ambience, deep Ribeira del Douro wine, and exquisite dishes made for an unforgettable experience. We started our second day with a visit to the majestic Porto Cathedral. From there, we climbed the Escadas de Vitoria, once home to the Jewish quarters before the Inquisition, and were rewarded with fabulous views at the top. We then strolled through the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Ribeira and enjoyed lunch at a fantastic restaurant hidden in an alleyway, just blocks from the river, far from the typical tourist traps. In the afternoon, we crossed the Douro River on foot, taking in more breathtaking views, and ended our day with a well-deserved tasting of port wine at Taylor's. The tasting experience was a perfect capstone to our Porto adventure. Check our blog post for a full account of Taylor's experience, including what to order to take full advantage of your tasting. 2 days in Porto were packed but rewarding. We loved the city's cosmopolitan sophistication intertwined with its historic charm. While the allotted time was right for our 14-day itinerary, Porto is a place we love to revisit for slow travel, exploring places frequented by triperos, like people from Porto are known, like Boa Vista and Foz do Douro. Porto left us wanting more. Day 5th of our journey took us on the delightful day trip to Braga. We picked up our car from Europcar at their Campania station, as we needed it for the rest of our journey, and drove to Braga. Braga offers a glimpse into life in Portugal beyond Lisbon and Porto, with its beautiful parks, walkable streets, and the oldest Portuguese cathedral dating back to the 11th century. The city's perfect scale, good shopping, restaurants, and vibrant ambience make it a magnet for expats and digital nomads. With a relaxed pace of life and plenty of cultural attractions, it's easy to see why Braga is becoming so popular. Day 6 marked our departure from Portugal, as we headed north to Galicia. We chose the scenic coastal route to Pontevedra,
continue on Avenida Liberdade for 2 kilometers.
Passing through Matosinhos and Labra, enjoying stunning views of the Atlantic.
Use the right lane to take the IP1 ramp.
You're not in España yet, you gotta get on the lane.
Upon arrival, we checked into the Parador of Pontevedra, a 16th century Renaissance palace turned into a hotel. The afternoon brought us a typical Galician downpour. We braved the stormy weather, but eventually we decided to go back to the luxury of the Parador for some relaxation. For dinner, we enjoyed bacalao and solomillo de ternera paired with a young Mencia wine. Conversations with caminantes added a special touch to our evening at the Parador, sharing stories and making new friends over a bottle of wine. The next morning, we woke up to the serene beauty of Pontevedra. After breakfast, at a true local cafe, Café Museo da Historia, we ventured into the amazing Pontevedra food market. So many fish stalls in an indoor market. We then got into our car to embark on a journey through Rías Baixas. First stop, Combarro, the town of my ancestors. We took a leisurely 2-hour walk, chatting with locals and sipping coffee while admiring the charming arroyos, the narrow streets, and the maritime breeze. Driving along the Ria de Pontevedra, we enjoy stunning coastal views. For lunch, we stopped by the water at San Xenxo, indulging in samburrinias, caldo gallego, and the best Galician cheesecake of our trip, all perfectly paired with crispy Albarino wine. In the afternoon, we continue our scenic drive along the Ria de Arousa, visiting picturesque churches by the water. Our journey ended in Cambados, where we explore its medieval streets and beautiful main square. The blend of new friendships, stunning scenery, and delicious local cuisine made for an unforgettable day. In the next morning, we explored Pontevedra, a medieval gem with charming streets, beautiful churches and parks. The Spanish camellias were in full bloom, adding vibrant colors to our walk. In the afternoon, we headed to Santiago de Compostela, stopping at the park to see a scenic waterfall and enjoying a snack in Padron. The leisurely pace of our way to Santiago de Compostela through the back roads allowed us to soak in the Galician countryside beauty. Arriving in Santiago, we checked into the elegant Palacio del Carmen Hotel. We spent the evening dining at the trendy restaurant and witnessing Santiago's cathedral illuminated against the night sky. We ended our night singing along with the tunas in Plaza del Obradoiro, surrounded by tourists, caminantes, and locals. Day 9 was all about exploring Santiago de Compostela. We love to walk our cities, and Santiago was no exception. We strolled along Rua do Franco, where pilgrims have walked for centuries, seeking tabernas after their exhausting journeys. We didn't walk as much of a caminante, but we enjoyed the tabernas just the same, savoring their delicious meals and enjoying a cool, fresh glass of Estrella de Galicia beer. Our highlights include enjoying the cathedral tour, literally walking the rooftop for amazing city views and listening to the organ while walking alongside pilgrims through the crypt housing the relics of Santiago Apostol. Day 10 took us on a day trip to Coruña, just a short 1-hour drive from Santiago along the highway, and then to Costa da Morte. Coruña instantly charms us with its old quarter, Gran Plaza, and the iconic white houses overlooking Paseo Marítimo, Europe's largest seaside promenade. We visit the Roman lighthouse, the Tower of Hercules, that is an UNESCO heritage site, and the oldest existing Roman lighthouse, dating back for the 1st century. Our adventure continued as we drove through Costa da Morte, a stretch of rugged coastline and breathtaking views of the vast Atlantic. We stopped at postcard-perfect lighthouses, explored secluded coves like Praia dos Azulejos, and wandered through quaint seaside towns like Camarines. Here we enjoyed coffee with locals and tried to establish conversation in Galician. We failed miserably, but the laughs with the parishioners were well worth the effort. The blend of A Coruña's elegance and the Costa da Morte's raw beauty made for an unforgettable day, highlighting the diversity and charm of the Galicia's coastline. We spent the first hours of the morning of our day 11 enjoying the beautiful Palacio del Carmen Hotel and savoring our last breakfast at this nice place. Then we started our journey from Santiago to Lugo, driving through the scenic backroads of the green Galician countryside. We stopped in the off-beaten-path village of Silverray, home of the hidden gem San João de Silverray. This charming Romanesque church with its simple stone facade exudes timeless beauty. Arriving in Lugo, we checked into the modern and functional Hotel Mercure. Despite persistent rain, we ventured into the old city to visit the magnificent cathedral, explore the charming old quarter, and climb the city walls. Lugo's walls are a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the finest surviving example of late Roman fortifications. Day 12, we woke up and by the grace of the travel gods, across the street we had not one but two traditional Galician cafes. So after one café con churros, we took on the road and drove to the breathtaking Ribeira Sacra, ready for a day of exploration in the heart of Galicia. Our first stop was a 2-mile trek through a lush forest and vineyards overlooking the Minho River, leading us to the Romanesque gem Igreja Santa Maria das Pesqueiras. The 2 miles probably ended up being 3, because we went in circles on the poorly marked trail. We didn't give up. Even when it started drizzling, we were determined not to leave Ribeira Sacra without checking out this hidden treasure. Just when we were about to turn back, we spotted a church through a break in the trees. It felt indeed like discovering a hidden treasure, but it wasn't easy to find. That was, it is called a hidden treasure after all. Getting lost sometimes is part of the charm, but better if you end up reaching your destination. Continuing our journey, we drove alongside the Minho on a winding road that was as challenging as it was rewarding. The unparalleled beauty of the viewpoints, vineyards and river beaches, along with the magnificent views from Miradoiro Cabo do Mundo and the architectural grandeur of the monastery of Santo Estebo, made every twist and turn worthwhile. At the Mirador Cabo do Mundo, the view took our breath away. Of vineyards and the winding Minho River, I couldn't help but feel the connection to the land and its history. The serenity and beauty of the place are overwhelming. We finished our journey in Monforte de Lemos, another medieval town full of charm. Here we enjoy our last Galician dinner, savoring bacalhau confitado and solomillo, in the cellar of a charming restaurant. The bacalhau confitado was a revelation, and a great way to say farewell to the legendary Galician cuisine. Day 13 marked our farewell to Galicia. We truly enjoy our time here and can't wait to return to explore more of the Costa da Morte and Ribeira Sacra. But for now, we spent the day driving to Lisbon, sticking mostly to highways on this longer trip. We stopped in Ponte de Lima for a great lunch, a little rest, and a double coffee, to keep us alert and also to visit the impressive Roman bridge. Arriving in Lisbon, we stayed at Parque das Nações, a convenient place for our last stop. Our accommodation was the modern and functional Moxie Lisboa Oriente. On day 14, we drove to Sintra. The beautiful town of Sintra, with its many attractions, have become a tourist magnet of sorts, and like many other great spots in Europe, over-touristed and somewhat victim of its own success. A beautiful place nonetheless. An early start is a must. Our first stop was the enchanting Pena National Palace, followed by the historic Moorish Castle. My favorite place here was the expansive Quinta de Regaleira. No photo or video can truly prepare you for the experience of going down the initiation well. The word magical is often overused, but this experience felt like something out of a Borges book. We said goodbye to Lisboa and ended our trip with a great dinner al fresco by the Tagus on the Parque das Nações Esplanade. Sometimes there are trips that you take back with you, not only in your journals and photos, but also in your heart. Portugal and Galicia was one of them, and we hope to go back for some slow travel. As promised, here are my 3 unforgettable experiences from the trip in chronological order. Different, but each the type of memory you want to take back with you when you travel. We love Porto. We are suckers for cosmopolitan cities. The energy, the variety of things to enjoy, and the lust for life. Porto is that, a blend of old and new, vibrant, and full of color. Walking through the streets of Combarro, people recognize my Argentinian accent and started conversations, sharing how every family in Combarro has relatives that emigrated to Argentina. At the bar, I sat down and a gentleman invited me to a coffee. We talked about the hard times in Galicia in the first half of the 20th century, but also shared laughs over anecdotes. It was like meeting an old friend, except it was the first time we met. For the third experience, to Ribeira Sacra was unforgettable. A place full of green, expansive views and charming Romanesque churches. The apparent simplicity of their design makes them feel more spiritual. It's a place I love to return for some serious trekking. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Our mission is to help you, the independent traveler, plan unforgettable trips. If you enjoyed it, push that like button please. Do you have any questions or need more details? Don't hesitate to ask in the comments sections below. In future videos, we will go in depth on each of the stops of this trip, giving you detailed walking itineraries, hotel and restaurant recommendations, so don't forget to subscribe if you're planning a trip to Portugal and Galicia. Also, you can find us on our blog, trailblazingadventures.com. That's all for now. Happy travels, Trailblazers.